I saw her in the reflection of his sunglasses, and God, I wish I'd never zoomed in on that photo. He sent it while on a business trip. Casual little selfie on a hotel balcony. Sunlight hit his face just right. That same familiar smile. Soft, sweet, effortlessly charming, like the hundreds he'd sent before. He even added the usual romantic line. It's so peaceful here. Just wish you were with me. I remember smiling like a teenage girl. I loved his awkward attempts at romance, and I truly believed in his strictly business. No ladies allowed trips. Until ... I zoomed in. I don't even know why. Maybe it was the sunlight. Maybe the way his sunglasses caught the light. Whatever it was, my thumb did its thing and my heart did a backflip off a cliff. There she was, reflected in his lens, a woman, sitting right behind him. In the hotel room, wearing a white spaghetti strap top, hair down, legs crossed, and very, very not me. Suddenly, that serene solo balcony moment turned into an off-Broadway performance complete with props. 2 wine glasses on the table, a pair of women's sandals near the bed. Ando, the kicker is, silhouette, mid-turn. Clearly chatting with her before snapping the picture. The world didn't crash. It just ... went mute. No violins, no screams, just silence, and the slow realization that I'd been clapping for a one-man show with a secret co-star. I didn't text him back. I just sent the zoomed-in photo with one line. She looks at you like I never existed. The next day, the circus began. Calls, texts, paragraphs worthy of a soap opera. It's just a colleague came by 2 drop-off files. You're reading too much into a reflection. You really trust a piece of glass over me? Yes, I did, but I didn't respond. Not because I believed him, but because I was tired of bending over backwards just to find reasons to forgive. What he never understood was, cheating isn't a one-time event. It repeats every day you lie, every goodnight phone call, every kiss before work, every miss you text while someone else is sitting behind you. We broke up 3 weeks later. No more evidence needed. No photos of them together. Just that one reflection, one accidental mirror that told the whole damn story. And I kept that photo, not out of anger, but as a reminder. The truth doesn't always scream. Sometimes, it just quietly stares back at you from a pair of overpriced sunglasses. I didn't track him. Google did. All I wanted was to find that old Riverside cafe where my husband and I had coffee on our 2nd anniversary. It had a hidden little entrance and cobblestone path. So I thought, why not check Google Street View? Just a quick look for nostalgia's sake. 10 seconds in, I froze. There it was. The familiar path, trees casting soft shadows, and on the bench, a man. Chapon, denim jacket, black backpack, face turned slightly but unmistakably him, my husband. And next to him, not me. She was leaning on his shoulder, hand casually resting on his thigh, head tilted back in an easy, flirty laugh. He, leaning in, smiling intimate in a way that made my stomach flip. Not with jealousy, with something colder, numbness. I glanced at the photo date. Last month, the same day he said he was meeting clients in Yokohama. That morning, I brewed him coffee, packed his bag, waved goodbye like a loyal, gullible sitcom wife. I didn't scream. I didn't confront. I just took screenshots. Then I explored the area in Street View a bit more, like some kind of digital private investigator, and there it was. They stood up. He gently placed his arm around her back. She giggled and slipped her hand into his. 3 clear shots. Before, during, after. A Google-powered timeline of betrayal. That night, he came out of the shower all refreshed, whistling like someone who hadn't just been caught by a satellite. I placed the iPad on the table, didn't cry, didn't shake, just tapped the screen and said, "Google may not see everything, but this time it saw enough." He didn't speak. Didn't deny it, because really, what could he say? When your wife is holding up a global map service as evidence, the conversation's kinda over. We separated a week later, divorced quietly, not long after. Google may not see everything, but this time it saw enough. He didn't speak. Didn't deny it, because really, what could he say? When your wife is holding up a global map service as evidence, the conversation's kinda over. We separated a week later, divorced quietly, not long after. People sometimes ask me, isn't it ridiculous finding out your husband's cheating? Through Google Street View, I just smile. The ridiculous part isn't the technology. It's that people still believe no one's watching while the world literally drives by and takes pictures.
I never imagined that a dusty old gadget I thought I'd ditched would turn out to be my unlikely superhero saving me from a marriage built on lies. Now, let's get this straight. I'm not some paranoid control freak. I've always believed in privacy for nearly 10 years of marriage. My motto was, if you choose each other, you trust each other. Turns out, blind trust is great, it pokes you in the eye.
It was just another ordinary Saturday afternoon. My kurang 11-year-old son was rummaging through an ancient drawer, aka the tech graveyard, looking for something to bring to dance class. He dug up an iPod Touch, yes, that kind of relic, from the time when iTunes ruled our household. He asked, "Mom, can I use this? I wanna play music at school." So I plugged it in, hit the power, and expected absolutely nothing to happen. But surprise, the little guy still worked like it had something to prove. Everything seemed normal, until I noticed the iMessage icon glowing like a guilty conscience. I tapped it, half curious, half nostalgic, expecting old messages from my iPod jamming days. But nope, not my messages. The first few lines hit me like a piano falling from the sky. "I missed you like crazy last night. I just wish I could wake up next to you every morning." Accompanied by a heart emoji, a bed emoji, and drumroll a selfie of my husband, the same man I had literally just made pancakes for that morning. My hands started trembling like I'd just been caught in an emotional earthquake. I still remember that bizarre sensation. Not quite anger. Not quite shocked, just this aching void, like someone had yanked me out of a warm dream and dropped me into the freezer aisle of reality. I kept scrolling. The whole conversation was still there, crystal clear. Blessed its forgettable little soul, was still synced to my husband's eye, and he, genius that he is, clearly forgot that syncing works both ways. Turns out, the nights he claimed he had late meetings were actually documented here as "just left the hotel. Sleep tight, babe." And those nights, he spooned me to sleep. Apparently, he was sending bed selfies to someone else at 3 a.m., like a bedtime influencer, but for heartbreak. I don't know how long I sat there, frozen with the iPod in my hands, but eventually, my son poked his head in and asked, "Mom, does it still work?" I forced a smile, placed the iPod gently on the table like it was a cursed artifact, and said, "Sweetie, I don't think you should use this. It's way too old." That night, I said nothing, not to him. Not for a whole week. During that time, I screenshot everything, saved the photos, and called a lawyer. You know what hurt the most? Not that he cheated, but that he didn't even try to be sorry. When I showed him the evidence, all he said was, "Where did you get this?" Not, "I'm sorry." Not even a. Let me explain. We divorced 2 months later. I never told our son the real reason. I just said, "Sometimes grown-ups get lost too, but every time I see that iPod, I think, sometimes the tiniest things carry the biggest truths."